We're here back at the Fantasy Barbecue Tuesday night in MLB. I've got 6 of my favorite plays for you, including a few ways to get different from Coors Field. A starting pitcher I think can finish atop the heap and not at the highest price. A value play I think can go off tonight. And of course, my favorite play of the night. Who we talking about? Belly up to the Fantasy Barn. Find out. Welcome in, guys. Tuesday edition Beers Daily Fantasy 6-pack. Welcome back into the Fantasy Bar. Appreciate you for coming in and checking out the video and hanging out here in the bar. Before we get into the plays of the day, make sure you click that thumbs up button. Helps us out tremendously. Let's see if we can cross that 200 barrier today. A little challenge for you guys. Thank you in advance for that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. Get notified when these videos are coming out. And lastly, head over to scoresandodds.com/beer for all of your sports betting needs. All right, let's set the table here. We got Coors Field on the docket. You guys know by now, we're not going to bog down the video with a bunch of plays from Coors. Obviously, always a great spot. Big 11 total there. So if you want to target that, that's up to you. Want to give you some plays outside of Coors Field. Weather also looks to be a major issue, mainly on the East Coast here. Nothing overly ominous, but we'll keep an eye on it. If we have to make any changes, we'll do so in the comment section of the video. All right. Yesterday, not great. We had a few shining stars. Santander going deep. Zach Gallen with the big performance. Rest of the guys were a letdown. Let's get some better performances here today. All right, let's start in the outfield with Teoscar Hernandez of the Jays. All right, going back to Toronto here. They were productive. Vlad just didn't do much. Don't mind going back to him tonight if you want to go that route or stacking this team. But I really like what I'm seeing out of Teoscar Hernandez, especially over the last month or so. His covers over 80 at-bats. This guy been great against righties, 286. The ISO 405. The Woba, nice 9-game hitting streak coming into this one. And very good against the fastball. Bradish throws a lot of fastballs. We're talking a Woba over 400 and an ISO approaching 300 for Teoscar Hernandez against that pitch. The reason I like Toronto, ton of righties in that lineup. Bradish been terrible against righties. We're talking a Woba all the way up at 431, an ISO at 256, and of course our power mix in play as well. 40% fly ball rate, 49% hard contact rate. Teoscar Hernandez and these Blue Jays in a good spot here tonight. All right, let's go to third base, spend some money here at Austin Riley of the Braves. So this is one of those ways to get different from Coors Field. This guy's been kind of quiet of late, and all that's done is driven the price down. I don't think you're going to get much ownership here at all on Austin Riley. People will go for more expensive pieces there in Coors Field or other options here. But look at these numbers against lefties. 390 ISO, one of the biggest numbers that we've seen all season long. The Woba approaching 500 and a hard contact rate, and this may be the highest number that we have seen all season long at over 57% against left-handed pitching. Rich Hill, 341 Woba allowed, gives up power as well at 213, and a 37 and 33% in the power mix department. I think Austin Riley, bat wakes up here tonight against the lefty in Rich Hill. All right, let's go back to the outfield. Next play for us, Dalton Varshow of the Diamondbacks. So Varshow swinging a good bat right now. 4 multi-hit games in the last 10, 3 home runs for him over the last 7. So we're getting nice power out of him. And to no surprise, this guy leads this Arizona squad in both ISO and Woba against right-handed pitching here. Now Thompson, numbers aren't as eye-popping as some of the other guys that we're going to pick on here, but still gives up an ISO at almost 200. Still have a power mix in play at 36 and 32%, 2 left-handed hitters, and just an 18% strikeout rate as well. So kind of mitigates that worry here. Varshow in a good power spot here tonight as a solid one-off against Mr. Thompson. All right, let's go to starting pitcher. Ton of options here on this slate. This baby is loaded with pitching. We're going to go with Shane Bieber of the Guardians. So as I mentioned in the opening, I think this guy has all the upside to be the highest scoring pitcher on this slate, and you don't have to pay some of those big prices. A lot of starting pitching options on this slate tonight. So I think ownership will spread out a bit, but I think Bieber has the best matchup here, obviously, with this lowly Detroit team, who he has dominated, averaging 7 strikeouts and over 20 DraftKings points per game in 3 starts so far this year against the Tigers. Now, what I really like on the season, this guy's got about a 25% strikeout rate in general. That number jumps to almost 28.5% against left-handed hitters. You look at this projected Detroit lineup, we could see as many as 6 left-handed hitters here against Shane Bieber. So double-digit strikeouts not out of the question here. Price simply not as high as it should be here, and a ton of competition at pitching should keep the ownership in check here. Shane Bieber, my favorite pitcher on tonight's slate. All right, let's get back to the bats. Let's get you a value play at first base or outfield with Darren Ruff of the Mets. Now, we know the deal here with Darren Ruff. It's a lot of boom bust, but at these prices, I'm willing to take the risk here, get him in some lineups and hope for that boom in a very good matchup. We'll get to that here in a second, but this guy's been very good against lefties, as we know. Over the course of his career, this is not a small sample size, but for this season, ISO at over 260, that WOBA approaching 370. Now, Mike Minor taking the hill for Cincinnati. This is an amazing matchup for these Mets here. Should be one of the more popular stacks if the weather holds off, but I'm okay with it. We can get different in different spots here to mitigate some of that ownership here, and maybe this is the stack to counteract Coors Field. But Minor, power mix, big time, 48% fly ball rate, 45% in the hard contact rate. Darren Ruff, a cheap value play as part of that stack, or if you need some salary savings as a one-off play. All right, it's time to take a look at my favorite play. Before we do that, let's continue our Beast of the Night contest. Congrats to all of the recent winners. Very easy to play. Make sure you click that thumbs up button and head to the comment section. And all you got to do is guess fantasy points on DraftKings tonight for my highest scoring hitter. The closest guess in fantasy points wins themselves a free week of RotoGrinders Premium. Chance to check everything out behind the scenes. And while you're in that comment section, who's your favorite play of the night? Who's your beast? Let's hear it in that YouTube comment section. All right, let's wrap this baby up. My favorite play for Tuesday night, you know, Mass, the Beast of the Night. All right, Beast time, and no surprise, we're going to stay right there with the Mets. We're going to go to first base. We're rolling with the big man, Pete Alonso, tonight's Beast of the Night. So again, Minor's been that bad where you can stack this team. Love Pete Alonso. There's a lot of great options at first base tonight, but the Mets, a stack. Alonso, a way to get different from Coors Field. There's a lot of reasons here. I like Pete Alonso, but mainly his matchup here. Lefty's been good, 266 ISO. WOBA at almost 400. Now, Minor, we mentioned the power mix. Look at that WOBA, 426 allowed to righties. The ISO, even worse, at 329. One of the biggest numbers that you're going to see. Has already surrendered 13 home runs to right-handed hitters. I think there's a bunch more coming here tonight. Pete Alonso, easily my favorite play on the board, and tonight's Beast of the Night. All right, guys, that'll wrap us up for Tuesday night with 6 of my favorite plays on FanDuel and DraftKings. If you have any comments, questions, feedback, hit me up in that comment section right below the video. Get your guess for fantasy points on DraftKings for my highest scoring hitter. Just need the fantasy points. Also want to know who your favorite play of the night is. Give me your Beast of the Night here on this big Tuesday night slate. Don't forget, thumbs up button if you haven't already. Let's push 200 on that baby today. Subscribe to the channel and head over to scoresandodds.com/beer for a ton of great sports betting information. For RotoGrinders.com, I am Beer saying salut, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. Appreciate your support. Good luck on the slate tonight. We'll take a couple days off. We'll be back on Friday. Make sure you subscribe, get notified for that video. Good luck, and we'll see you.
Hey, thanks for checking out our videos. If you want more expert advice on DraftKings, FanDuel, or any other daily fantasy sports, make sure you check out the current videos playlist